Hello, welcome to stream, everybody. I am back. I am back again, and for some reason, my bots are just having a great time today. I've got one bot doing its job. It's called a person in the first 10 seconds, and another bot that's apparently decided it wants to advertise to me. So, thank you for that, bots. You're off to a strong. You're off to a strong start. So, happy post-Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope you all had a good one. I spent it entirely at home, and yeah, it was all right. I mostly spent it watching streams and playing games. What else could you expect from me? I'm still undecided on what I want to do with my lips, so forgive me on that. They look good, but they're growing on me. A little bit. Anyway, that's fine. So, welcome. I don't have a specific plan for stream today. I just felt like I wanted to stream today. So, you know, keep up with my pattern. Keep with the consistency of streaming. Cause you know we gotta get into it. Gotta keep consistent, or otherwise no one's gonna watch. But that's not the point. I stream because I want to. I genuinely, it was one of those mornings where I was like, you know what, I really just want to stream. I don't have a plan for what I'm going to stream, but I want to stream. So, here I am. I'm here to stream. I have a lot of games I could play. I have a lot of talking I can probably do. I have had a week, and not necessarily in a good way. So, also, if there's any issues with audio, like the music's too high or too low, let me know. I do what I can, but I can't tell without you guys telling me, because I can't hear I can't hear my own voice compared to that, except for in recordings, and recordings don't have the music, so that doesn't help me. But if the audio is good, or if the audio is not good, let me know. I don't know why I'm doing so much with my hands. Anyway, so it's a hands stream. I hope you enjoy your hands. I don't know what's going on with my camera either. I keep trying to fix this and it never seems to hold. So, excuse me for 1 second. I'm not going anywhere, but my video may jump around a little bit. So, forgive me for that a little bit, because you know I want to I would like to make this see, there we go. Don't know what I just did, but apparently it changed something. Did something to my camera. I'm not entirely sure. It's gone smoother and also kind of darker at the same time. So I'm not complaining about the smoothness. Look at this. You can see I've jumped up in quality. Yay for changing things. Thank you. Welcome back, Lizzie. I've been meaning to fix that, because it's been sitting a little like when I record things for myself, it's fine, but when I look back at it later, it's like, why are you blurry? So I'm trying to fix that a little bit. And nope, that's too much. Maybe turn that one down a little bit. Whoa, that's too far in the wrong direction. That's a bit better. Getting better. I'm getting closer. Also, how have you been? How's things? How was Valentine's? How's whatnot? I just realized I was too focused on myself to keep a conversation going. It's very rude of me. I apologize. But I would also prefer to, I'd like the stream to be enjoyable. And at the same time, I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with my camera. It's doing things that it shouldn't be. So, just want to fix that a little bit. Maybe it's that one. Valentine's Day was just Saturday, single life. Yeah, that's fair. That was kind of how mine was a little bit. So, That's yeah. My Valentine's Day was basically just at home watching streams or playing games. A little bit of both. Um, how am I? I am generally good. It's been some things happening in my personal life. Not good ones. Not good things, but things. I won't go into too much detail yet because I've got to figure out how much I can say without doxing myself. Uh, because that's, I'd prefer to not dox myself. That is the preference. So, okay, I think that's all I can fix in those settings. But yes, it's not got some new tattoos. Ooh, that's exciting. What'd you get? What's your tattoos? It's exciting news. I haven't got new tattoos yet, but I would like to. I very much would like to. I've just got to save up. That'll be a minute. No. There we go. That's a bit better. I don't look quite so red now. I don't know quite what it was doing before, but it was not what I wanted it to. Big flowery things on both sides. Oh, that's exciting. 2 4.5 hour sessions. Yeah, that's not small. Because I just know that I just got a notification on my OBS and I was confused by it. That doesn't take much though. Yeah, the ones I want to get, I have a feeling are not going to be small because it's going to be like basically a full shoulder piece. That's I anticipate not being short amount of time, probably similar to what you just described there, because that is 2 4.5 hour sessions to get it done. That's probably best that you got it done in 2, because that's it's also good to not like push yourself too hard on those things, because I've seen videos of people and like they go for too long. They think they can go for like the whole time, and then lo and behold, their body goes into shock. So it's good to kind of know roughly when you should stop coming. When you can stop, just when you should tap out. Tapping out. That is the word I was trying to find. Thank you. Oh my god. That was so annoying. I'm not a fan of stumbling over my words. I had a very large vocabulary as a child, and I used that a lot. Got me into a lot of trouble too, because everyone thought I was doing it on purpose. Turns out I was just autistic. So there is, there's the double-edged sword of reading a dictionary as a child. Just did one thigh, ready to tap out after the first because of the accumulation of pain. Yeah, that's fair. So far, I've only had sort of like little small forearm ones. That's why like I anticipate I'm probably going to tap out if like eventually when I get to these ones because of just the size of it. But I'm hoping I don't, but I feel like I probably will. So but again, I've got a while to save up so I can brace myself in the meantime for that one. And sorry, I just reminded myself. There's another little fun fact. It's a free one since I don't have redeems yet. A fun fact, which I alluded to earlier. I basically read through the entire dictionary as a child just because I could. And turns out when you read a dictionary, it tends to increase your vocabulary by quite a bit. And when you start using large words as a small child, people tend to think you're a know-it-all. And that doesn't help you make friends, I found. I still can't really shake that. I'm pretty sure I've still got a fairly good vocabulary. I need to test my vocabulary more. Second day was much easier. Fell asleep on that one. That's good. I guess because your body was kind of knew what it was getting into for that one. Because that's a bit annoying. But I feel like for me, I don't know if I necessarily fall asleep. Sorry, this little flippy bit of hair keeps falling in front, and not in a way that I would like it to. I really should have used like hairspray or something, but I didn't. And yeah, I feel like for me at least, I've learned that my body's go-to response to any kind of trauma, whether it be emotional or physical, is to dissociate. And so I barely remember getting these ones. I can't really get my sleeve down any further because it's not a loose sleeve. And yeah, so I don't remember most of that apart from a very vague, scratchy feeling. Also had a better technique for it, learnt lessons from the first day. Oh, that's good. I think as well that probably helps because like the tattoo artist probably had they gotten kind of used to what your skin was like, so they were probably able to work around that, so that's good. Did the same thing for a lot of it. Yeah, I feel like I'll probably try and do that for this next one, but how effective that'll be due to the sheer size of it, that is anyone's guess. But it's being hopeful. So, but again, I got time. I got plenty of time. I got so many tattoos I want to get, but it's a combination of time and money. I know for a lot of people it's also like finding a tattoo artist that you like, but I don't have a tattoo artist that I like, but I follow several of them on Instagram that are not too far from where I live, so I like their style, so I'll probably go with them. And I reckon I can make something work with that. Eventually. Time and money are the biggest enemies for me getting more tattoos right now. So, as I feel is common for a lot of people. But it's, yeah, it'll be good fun. But yes, when that happens is anyone's guess, because I am prone to impulse purchases, and that is not conducive to saving money. But luckily, you know, I'll get there. It'll just take me a minute. So we have that, which is fine. So, as I was saying before, I don't specifically have a plan for today. Mine was a rule of being a tattoo. That's good. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you for that. Would advise finding someone's style you like and sticking with them. Exactly. Yeah, there's a few who I've seen whose style I like, and so yeah, if I can book in with them, I'm really hoping that I can make it work for what I find for them. Now I just really want a tattoo, and it's really annoying because I've got to save money. Make sure they're inexpensive. Well, yeah, I feel like this day and age, they're all kind of you kind of get what you pay for a lot of the times. And I don't have any tattoo artist friends, so I can't get mates rates, so to speak. So the only people I know who are tattoo artists also, funnily enough, live on the other side of the world. So outside of like the Instagram ones I was just talking about. So what is my hair doing? I have no idea what my hair's doing down there. But yes, that's I would fucking love some more tattoos. That would be amazing. Sorry, I feel like I've had hair caught on my nose for like the last hour. There's not, which is what makes it even more annoying. Get enough tattoos at once and the flight might end up saving money. It's very possible. I would have to get a lot of tattoos to get that, because to do that though, because overseas, because I'm in Australia, basically everywhere is overseas travel, so it's not cheap. And I was flying economy last time, so I wasn't even that fancy. So it's I would love to go overseas more. That's the other thing I'm saving up money for. Going overseas again, / paying off my last overseas trip and getting more tattoos. Don't like cheap flights? No, they do not, apparently. It's really fucking annoying too. Because I won't generally, like, I'll fly a budget airline if I'm flying domestic because that's only like a couple hours. I'm willing to be inconvenienced if it's just a domestic flight. Not that that happens very often. But if it's international and I'm going to be in the plane for 12 to 24 hours, I want to have at least a modicum of comfort, which I cannot get on a budget airline. As it was on my last trip, I was flying with, I think it was Singapore Airlines. They were generally comfortable for an airline. However, they had this rule that, you know, they were not allowed to have any power banks whatsoever. And that's a little bit inconvenient for me because my phone doesn't like the in-flight charges, which meant I was kind of screwed a little bit with that one. British Airways, at least, I could use my phone bank because I need something like this fucking chonker right there. That has the power to adequately get my phone up without taking like 12 hours to charge it back up. Whereas if I try to plug it into the plane itself and like use their ports, it'd be lucky to register enough power to actually show that it's charging. So Singapore Airlines, boo. Fix your shit. British Airways, you're cool though. For now, unless they've changed it, I don't know. But I was not thrilled with that. I may have also been a little bit naughty as well. Don't tell Singapore Airlines. Because I may have had my power bank. Like they say, don't use your power bank on the plane. Don't have things plugged in. I may have had my power bank in my like carry-on luggage, which was, you know, underneath the seat in front of me. And British, apart from the colonizing another territory, yeah, that part's not great. I don't approve of those ones, but the airline, that's okay. Colonizing, not so much. It's a very divisive country. There's a lot of ups and downs, and one thing like that I found it actually quite funny when I was over in England. I was expecting to be hate crimed a little bit, not like a lot, but I was expecting, you know, some words. I must have gotten lucky. I must have come at a good time because everyone was extremely supportive. However, I do not approve of the NHS distribution of HRT. That is one reason why I couldn't move over there, because I've heard of tales where it's like if you're going through the NHS, it takes you like 5 years to get approved for HRT, and that's fucked up. I got onto my HRT in Australia in like a month, and that was mostly the waiting list to see my doctor. And granted, it also helped that I was of an age where they were just like, hey, cool, do you want to sign this informed consent form? And you seem to know what you're talking about. You seem to know what you want. Just sign this informed consent form and we'll get you started. And away I went. Obviously, if I was younger, then it would be a whole other thing. But I was of an age where they were just like, nah, you know what you're doing. Hate for your waiting time. Sorry about that. On the whole, don't deal with any head stuff. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised that, granted, I was mostly in and around like central London. So I don't know, obviously things might be different if I were in different places, but that was good. If I applied today to the one, the wait time is probably 26 years? Jesus, that is insane. I'm a little bit speechless on that, to be honest. I didn't realize it was that bad. Wow, okay. Oh, you threw me with that one. I was not expecting that. It's, but yeah, like, I mean, I don't, so yeah, obviously, like, the HRT times for other people in Australia might vary a little bit. Like I said, I think I had particularly lucky and unique circumstances. So I got a little bit of bonus on that. One in Scotland has a wait time over 100 years. Actually, I think I've heard of that one. I was in another stream, someone else's stream a few weeks ago, and someone in chat was in Scotland, and like they lived in Scotland, and they were, they mentioned the same clinic, and that is also insane because it's just like, get HRT on your deathbed. Ooh, hello, King. Want some? I mean, I wouldn't say no to a raid. I don't have a plan for the stream currently, but I wouldn't say no. How are you doing, King? Are you feeling a bit better? I know. Oh, hello. Welcome, Crow Alternative, and all people coming in with Crow Alternative. For those who don't know me, my name is Ryle for short. I am an Australian variety streamer because I am too indecisive to pick any one subject. So, welcome all. I am seeing surprising amount of first-time chats, but thank you all and welcome to the stream, and welcome Jinx as well, husband. Yes, hello again. Hello, Crow. Thank you for the raid. I was honestly not expecting that. I'm guessing the demo you were playing finished or crapped out, one of the two. So, welcome to the stream. Had a surprising amount of people say, "Oh, that's good." Yes, I've just been talking, and I've been talking lately about the difference in HRT waiting times for Australia and the UK. It's very different, and I was not expecting to hear that. Change for a very quiet stream. No, yeah, it's a bit that way. Welcome, Lizzie. This is the Crow Alternative, and his stream. I'm very welcome to see you all. Thank you again for coming in. Well, James, I don't know if I can help you with that. You might need to ask someone else about that. Welcome all. Hello. Oh, I see a few familiar faces. I see a lot of familiar faces, unsurprisingly, given that I was in that chat about an hour ago. Yeah, James, you might need to ask someone else in that. Maybe check with, like, I don't know, Zydrate? You in here? Are you open to that, Zydrate? I don't know. Oh, thank you for the follow. But yes, welcome to the stream. I don't particularly have a plan at this immediate point in time. I'd probably play a game. Which game, I don't know. James cannot be contained. He really can't. And that's why we love him. But yes, it's a post-Valentine's Day stream. I did not get up to much on my Valentine's. I was, funnily enough, with a lot of you on various streams on my Valentine's Day. So I just really felt like streaming today. I didn't have a specific plan, but I wanted to stream. So here I am. And sorry, I just got distracted by my music. It was caught me by surprise a little bit there. Valentine's with Raven was banging. It was really fun. I enjoyed that. I'm sorry, I don't have any stars to give you, chat. I just have me. I am the star for your stream today. If I get a part, I don't want to buy stuff for Valentine's and I don't want it. Fair enough. I feel like I have bought a star at some point in the past. I think I bought it for like an X. So that's all right. I don't want that star. But yes, it's how much is the tattoo I want to get? I'm not entirely sure, but I have a feeling it won't be cheap because the tattoo that I'm planning and saving up for is going to be like basically like that size. So I have a feeling, given that it's probably going to take a couple of days to get that one done when I do eventually save up for it, it's, I don't know specifically how expensive it's going to be, but it's not going to be cheap. I have a feeling basically anything above like palm-sized. It's not. I don't know. My hand is not a good example there. It's probably, yeah, anything like that is going to be expensive, and I'm saving up for it. I believe I actually have. I've got a crowdfunding thing on Throne for my tattoo, but I'm not expecting that one to fill up anytime soon. To be honest, because like I'll save up for it. I kind of want to go back to England again in the meantime as well. I have a lot of things I'm trying to save up for right now, and a lot of things that I impulse buy because I have zero self-control. That is the fun. That is a fun little side effect of living with a dissociative condition. I have zero impulse control. Well, not zero, just above zero. And so I have a tendency to buy myself things. It's just, it'll feel that so hard. Yeah. So I tend to want to, if I see it, I get it. Unless obviously I don't have the money for it, because that's kind of self-explanatory a little bit. But ADHD goes, well, shiny. Yeah, pretty much. Mine does that a lot more than I would like. I feel like it's been good in general, but unfortunately, whenever I get stressed, apparently my impulse control just drops to nothing. So I try not to get myself too stressed too regularly because my wallet cannot sustain that. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we have that. And eventually I will save up enough money to either get more tattoos or go back to England, or both. Who knows? Manic Phase Go, why shouldn't I keep it? Exactly. That is exactly what it basically is, because it's like I make plans to do things, and I make plans to buy things, and it's just a matter of which things my impulse control gets to first. Hence how I ended up in England last year. That was very much an impulse. So what games am I considering today? That is a very good question. I had started Iron Lung in my last stream. I've got, I don't know, about like a third of the way through, I guess. I've already freaked myself out at least once with that. Despite the fact that it is a very low resolution game, I've still managed to freak myself out with it, which is impressive. I did start that one. I've also got, what other games have I got going on here? I've also got Vampire Masquerade, Bloodlines, whatever you want to shorten that one to, and Mass Effect, because technically Mondays are like my Mass Effect day, but whether I decide to, but like, I haven't played it in a few weeks and need less months at the end of it, but yeah, fair enough. So potentially it may be Iron Lung. It kind of depends a little bit on that one, but we'll see on that. For reasons, don't bother. Okay, good to know. Which Mass Effect are we on? At the moment, it's the first one. I have played the second one. For some reason, I decided to start on the second game. I'm not entirely sure why I decided to start that one. I liked the second game, and that made me want to play the first game. I probably should have started on the first game in the first place. I played the second game in my own time, but then I was like, you know what? I should play the first game to kind of know what everyone's talking about. So it's I have some interesting outfits on my throne wish list. Why, thank you. Yes, I do indeed. I have a very varied throne. It's a bit of everything. It's basically whatever caught my eye. It's also there as kind of a reminder for me so that if I do manage to outlast my impulse control, then I can buy some of my own stuff off that one. And if I don't have it on the wish list, I'll forget that it's there, and then I'll forget that I wanted it. So some of it is there as like just a wish list option, and some of it is just there because my memory is a sieve and I will forget about it otherwise. ME2 is my favorite. ME1 is also good. Love the story. Yeah, that's what I've heard about it. Like ME2 is like better gameplay, but ME1's got a better story, from what I've heard. I haven't played enough of it to really tell. I am using Throne as something of a shopping list. Yes. Yeah. Like, so I'll probably like, I'll probably knock some of those things off my list once if I eventually just like save up to buying them anyway. But I do have, yeah, it's there as a wish list, but it's also just as a shopping list because yeah, I will not remember otherwise. And I find things and I'm just like, ooh, shiny, I want that. But I cannot afford that right this very second, so I am going to put that on there for later. I don't know if I like that flavor, but yes, there is some buried stuff on there. So I'm currently undecided between Iron Lung and Mass Effect. It was not necessarily an improvised stream, but it was an undecided in terms of what I actually wanted to. Answer the question, doing better but not yet fully recovered. Might not have fully lung infection. Oh, that's no good. I mean, I'm glad that you're feeling better, but that sucks that there was like more going on in the meantime, because that's a bit annoying. So it's I'm glad to hear you're doing a little bit better at least. Why it's taking so long to recover? Yeah, I've been very lucky in terms of health issues lately. Physically, I've generally been fine. Up here, different question, but people don't see in here as much as they see the rest of this. So I can usually get away with just making this come across as quirkiness. And I hope that is how it comes across. So we have that, and it's been a week. I won't go into too much detail, but there has been drama on all fronts, basically. Like I said, I can't go into too much detail because it's kind of potentially doxing for it. Luckily, it's nothing that's been like stream-related drama. Gonna head to bed. That's fair enough. Probably best, like, if you're still feeling a bit unwell, probably for the best you get a bit more rest. Still, it's one of those things that you just kind of gotta, no doxing. Yeah, no, it's, I'll try not to. Because, like, I like being not doxed. But, yeah, there's just been a few unpleasantnesses. That's not a word. Which, given that I've read a dictionary as a child, is funny that I'm somehow just making up my own words now. But yes, there's been some unpleasantnesses, and I guess that's probably part of the reason I wanted to do streams, because it was a good escape from the real world. Yeah, it's just life drama, unfortunately. Yeah. It happens. Can't always be avoided, unfortunately. But that's right, I have all you lovely people to stream for. So, how many bangers do I have queued up? Well, that is a very good question. My playlist is about 16 hours long, so statistically, there's probably a few on there. I couldn't tell you how many, because this is like the streamlined version of my playlist, but it's my regular playlist might be a few more things that are not necessarily as bangery, but it's seeing them live, that's pretty cool. I'm just trying to think if they've ever been to Australia. No. But on the plus side, I am going to a concert in the next few weeks, which is very exciting, because I haven't been to a concert in like 3 years at least. I don't know actually how long it's been, but I'm very excited. Again, impulse purchases was one of those ones where I was just like, I felt like I just had a sudden desire to go to a concert, and I happened to look and see who was playing, and I was like, oh shit, K-pop band ATEEZ is in Australia, like right now. I might have to go and see them. So now I have tickets to ATEEZ, which is, given that I didn't even know who they were a year ago, very surprising. massive warehouse over some distance, the best I've seen live. That's cool. I like that. I'm not surprised that they were doing a warehouse show. Oh, excuse me. Choked a little bit on my own spit. Ignore that. Can make her so jealous. Potentially. I mean, I think she's seen them live as well, but it's I think it might be as well a little bit on that one. But that's pretty cool. And who knows, it might even reinvigorate my desire to see more shows live, because I like I said, I haven't seen any in ages, and now I'm just like, the timing on that worked out so well, and luckily it was far enough in advance that I could put some time in at my work to not be at work during that time. So I can take a few days off, just go into the city and see them. Luckily it's not far for like travel, so I can just do it as like a short trip, which is great. But it's I'm really excited for that. It's a little annoying that I don't know if it's just a thing, and unfortunately quite ill as well. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kristen. Hope you are also feeling a little bit better soon. Same with you, King. Throwing his pin in the stream list. King, you don't have to do that, but thank you. I appreciate that. Fear it. I am a little. But I'm excited for this concert. I got to figure out what I want to wear, actually. Night, friends. Night, Kristen. Hope you're feeling a bit better soon. But I've got to figure out what outfit I want to get for or not get, but I don't think I'm going to buy an outfit. I think I can just make something for what I have. Pixie, hello, welcome. I was not expecting to see you here as well. Thank you for joining in as well, Pixie. My name is Real Ryle, Ryle for short. I am an Australian variety streamer because I lack the ability to stay focused on any one subject. Pixie, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm currently undecided what I'm going to be playing for tonight. We've kind of narrowed it down to either Iron Lung or Mass Effect, and I've just been chatting about my potential. Is it beautiful? Oh, thank you so much. You are as well. I hope you. I know I've said that before, but I stand by that. But yeah, so I've just been chatting about my nearly at the 50 followers. I know it's kind of weird, actually. I'm not used to this. This is like 40 more followers than I was anticipating I'd get in. Honestly, I thought I'd cap out at like 10. So the fact that I'm nearly at my 50 goal is frankly amazing. I'm very happy about that. I am very new. I mean, I've been on and off streaming for several years, but like on and off, it's like 2 streams and then I stop for like another year because I just I lose my focus. But this is the first time I've actually stuck around. So I'm a couple of months in, give or take, of actually sticking around to it. So I'm like new, but I've got to see you next time, King. Slightly following their own. Definitely seems that way. But yes, I have a variety of follower goals. I'm still trying to slice it up. Thank you so much. I've it's still kind of all a little work in progress at the moment. I'm just I will continue to add more stuff to it. But yeah, it's I'm actually sticking to it this time and figuring out what I want to do, and that's why I've got my follower goals and just kind of. I've got a list of things. I'm not quite an affiliate yet. I'm getting closer, but and it's only a matter of time. But it's but yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I want to get set up for when affiliate hits. Join a PM. Oh, that's right. You did say that. Hold on. Let me just write that down because I think I forgot to write that down last time, and then I unsurprisingly forgot it because apparently I just forget things. So, Hopefully, yeah, that'd be nice. I've been putting a few things together so that I'm not just like starting at zero, essentially. Um, just writing down that name because I will forget it otherwise, and I do that. But yes. But yeah, it's I am overheating already. That was fast. Don't mind me. Had to drop a layer because it was getting a bit too warm. Because I don't know. It's my room is unfortunately not overly well ventilated, so I just have to make do and hope that my setting spray holds. But yes, it's I didn't end up getting up to much on my Valentine's Day, but that's okay because I had a lovely, relaxing day, much better than the day before. So that is because the day before, that was when a lot of the drama happened. So hello, Anonymous, welcome in. Hope all Valentine's was amazing. Yes, you too. Hopefully yours was also good. Like I was saying, I didn't get up to too much, but I did. I just hung out, played some games, just good fun. My current it's weird to say comfort game has been Cult of the Lamb. It's weird to say that Cult of the Lamb is a comfort game, given that it's all about a cult. But it's been playing a lot of that. I think I've basically finished it, other than like a couple of achievements, which I may or may not go for. But it's a fun game. I've also been playing a lot of Quarantine Zone, but I've kind of had to play that as an offline one because I like that game. But the one time I've tried to stream it, it basically turned my stream to a slideshow. So my computer's a little bit crap in that regard, so that doesn't help. Kind of makes things a little bit tricky. So most of what I will play on this stream is either going to be not super high resolution or at least 10 years old. So got that. That's why I'm sticking to a variety stream, because if I stick to one thing for too long, then it's like my computer may try to kill me if I change to anything else. But that's nothing. So now it's like, thank you. That's all right. You have a good evening. I'm assuming it's evening. If you have a good evening or day, whatever time of the day it is for you. Also, thank you for the nails. I need to get them redone, but I kind of, because I've got the concert in a couple of weeks, I'm kind of waiting a little bit just so I can get them fresh for the concert. They're a little bit scuffed, so just don't look too closely at the moment. Got to return to like and editing. If I pay attention against it, no, that's all good. If you've got things you need to do, you do those things. Especially when it's like editing. I know how much focus that can take sometimes. So that's all good. You do what you got to do. If you get a chance to come back around again, I will see you then. So in the meantime, I should probably make a decision on what game I want to play. So literally hate it. Yeah, that's fair. I've got like, you may or may not aware, I am Australian. I live very much in Australia, and I did an impromptu trip to England last year, and part of that was going to MCM in London. And I vlogged as much as I could of that. I've never done vlogging before, so it was probably not done well. I still haven't edited that footage, and that was in October. So that's also because I'm, as I said, very easily distracted. So a lot of that footage is going to probably stay unedited for a while longer. So I understand the editing hell. But yes, that's all good. Hopefully, enjoy your editing. Hopefully it works out. Aim for MCM, next MCM deadline. Yes, that is, as long as I get it done before the next October MCM, I'm fine. I'm looking at it this way a little bit, in that like Raven Alternative, for example, she also vlogged MCM. She is currently editing her MCM vlog now. Granted, she's done like 5 other vlogs in the meantime. But her MCM vlog is still yet to be released. So mine is not completely out of schedule. So I'm okay for a little bit longer at least. So that's fine. Eventually I will get around to it. I may only end up editing it and having it as a copy for me potentially, because a lot of it is more just like video diary style as opposed to vlog style, and I need to figure out if that's something that I want to release or not. So we'll see. Depending on how much energy I have today, if I maintain enough focus, I might even get back onto that today. I just have to find what I did with all the files, because I honestly don't remember if I've got them all on my computer still. I may have moved them. But yes, that is a job for eventually, and I'm hoping it'll come out. So whether it's something that people want to see, that is a different question. But it's one of those things that people may or may not want to see it, but nobody can see it if I don't release it. So that's also a lot of my incentive behind my other social media stuff, is that it's just like someone may like it. I have a built-in audience of people who don't like me, but that is more so just because I exist online whilst being trans. So there's a lot of people, mostly bots in that, mostly bots and assholes that do that, but I also have a few people that do like watching it. So I embrace the cringe. As I was saying to someone the other day, I basically have to fight past the cringe every time I press post on basically anything. So I just live with that. I push through it, and I embrace the cringe and I let it happen. So I think that's a big part of doing anything online, is just getting past that initial fear of, being perceived. Because it's one of those things where, I want to be perceived, but do I want to be perceived? Couldn't imagine posting any videos of myself. See, that was the thing. I don't actually remember when I started doing so. I did like a lot of TikTok stuff a couple of years ago. I still do occasionally. I haven't had as much motivation for TikTok stuff as I've had for, because it's one of the things, if I let my focus slip too much on any one subject, there is a good chance I will completely drop the focus. So I don't want to lose my focus on the Twitch stuff, because I'm having fun with this. Like I was saying earlier, it's getting to the point where like I am wanting, like on a stream day, I'm actually like I live with chronic anxiety. That's just like baseline for me. But it's getting to the point where I'm like, I want to be in a stream. Do I know what I'm going to do with the stream? No. Do I know what I'm doing? Barely. But I want to be doing one. And I think that's probably why I haven't posted as much on my TikToks now, because I'm just like, if I lose that drive, like if I try to relocate that drive back onto TikTok, I might lose the focus that I have on Twitch. And it's easier for me to stream than it is for me to come up with ideas on TikTok. So I'm sticking with this one for as long as my brain will let me. The fact that this time around I'm actually able to maintain any kind of consistent schedule, and the fact like that this time I'm actually staying consistent enough to build up, even just gradually building up a little bit of an audience. I think that is helping me with this as well, because I forgot I had this on my playlist. Sorry, that one kind of caught me by surprise. Like when I first started streaming, again, that was probably like 2023, something like that. But again, it was only like 1 or 2 streams, and then I got distracted. I think one of those streams was building a Lego bonsai tree, which you can barely see in the background up there. But it's I did that, and then it was kind of just a case of I lost focus for a bit, and like I was probably only averaging 0 to maybe 1 viewers per that like experience. And I think because I wasn't able to maintain any level of consistency, and also the fact I wasn't really part of any communities at that point, I was just kind of doing it solo style. That didn't help me. But now, you know, this time around, I've been able to try and be at least somewhat consistent. I think I've only missed like one Monday stream in the last month or so, and that was literally because my computer was melting from a heat wave that we were having. So I don't hold myself entirely responsible for missing that week of streams, because if I did, my computer may have exploded. So I feel like that is a valid reason to not stream. But it was but other than that, and like the fact that I've been part of I've been part of like communities now, which is weird because like I was so used to doing stuff solo, and I was not used to people wanting me to be around. That's a weird way to word that, and I will, if I think of a better way to word that, I'll tell you. But it's I spent a lot of my life being ignored and like not being perceived. So being perceived is weird, but like in a good way. So I'm not going to complain about that. And I've only had to ban like one person so far for being like an outright asshole. I've had to ban a few bots, but I've only had to ban one asshole so far. It was actually kind of funny. My bots were having a great time this morning when I joined up. Like within 30 seconds, I got a notification that there was someone had been immediately banned as soon as I started stream because they were detected as spam. And then one of my other bots just decided they were going to advertise themselves. And I'm just like, I don't know if you should be doing that. But luckily it only did it once. And because I have some bots set up, but I will set them up more again once I get up to affiliate, and like once I can get my average up a little bit more, I'll allow people to I will allow more like interaction with my music, for example, because again this playlist is just one that I've made, but it's 16 hours long, so it's varied enough that there's a bit of everything on there. But eventually, once I get my average up, I can get more people to join in and add their own stuff. It's like Skynet, but here it kind of was a little bit. It was bots on bots on bots. Only 2 of those bots were allowed to be there. The third one got taken out by one of mine. So I've got Moobot and Frosty. Frosty's not doing much at this rate, but it's there. But the others, they're all doing their thing. So luckily, unless they start like banning people I like, then I'm not too fussed with them monitoring stuff. Because so far, one of the bot that banned the spam bot, he can stay. As long as he doesn't start getting up to shenanigans, we're all good. I was not expecting that. I think he approves. But yes, that is the bot that took out the spam bots. So apparently, I didn't see that coming. Apparently he recognized that you were talking about him. It's a little creepy, but you know, he's harmless to me at least. Anyway. Oh, you made him sad, Lizzie. Sorry, I'm just looking at the emotes that it's using. There you go. I didn't know that was how interactive that bot was. Seribot's pretty handy. generally tends to catch the spam bots more, so I don't have to deal with them, which is great. But yeah, it's they're okay. They'll get more use once I can figure out the best way to optimize them. Sorry, this top keeps riding up. That's not great. Yeah, Seribot's a good one. From what I've seen, anyway. But yeah, it's if I can keep up the consistency, I will get to affiliate very shortly, which I am very surprised by, because like I said, because of my previous experiences with streaming, I am honestly surprised that I have managed to keep it going as long as I have. But the fact that I have been able to keep it going and been able to continue kind of building up a little bit of an audience is kind of, it's a circular thing in that like I build up more of an audience, which gives me incentive to stream, which helps me to build up more of an audience, which kind of builds up stream. And I was like, it all works. Mod for another channel, all they do is spam them full of commands. That's pretty funny. I probably need to figure out all of the commands that are hiding in the various bots that I've got on there. It's awesome to manage to keep going. Love your streams too. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love the fact like that I've got people that keep coming back, because obviously that is a very important part of streaming. I've considered myself especially lucky that whilst like I'm not at that point yet, I know that there's a lot of streamers out there that they're streaming to like 0 people for months. And like even before I had any substantial amount of followers coming in, I'm still averaging a couple of people each stream. And I was just like, I appreciate that fact that they were giving me a chance, given that I was probably showing as having 0 to 1 viewers at that point. And yeah, so I appreciate you all for coming and joining my streams and for coming back to my streams, because that's kind of important. Yeah, I probably should look into what my commands are. I think I looked at them once upon a time, but I don't actually remember what I put them as. Like, obviously I've got my throne one, where like I've got that in the title. That's the only one I can remember that I have. I will set up more again when I get around to it, but I have to figure out what my command themes are going to be. Like, are they going to be funny? Are they going to be like functional? I guess. I don't know. I haven't decided. I do want to have some funny ones in there, though, ideally. Make it enjoyable for everybody. Because that's the thing as well, like, just because I'm here, I would like other people to be able to, enjoy stuff that is, other parts of the stream. And I am aware that my throwing command is kind of more just advertising for myself, but again, it's more, I put it there because it's both a wish list for others and a shopping list for me, so that I don't forget stuff that I've found and that have caught my eye. Because like there's some stuff on there that I'm like, I'm not expecting to get anytime soon, and I'm not expecting others to get for me anytime soon, but they're on there because I'm just like, I really like that and I really want that, but there is very little chance of that coming off that list anytime soon. I know a lot of people do that with their throne as well. They just kind of use it there. They just put some stuff on there that's for shits and giggles, essentially. For example, someone whose throne many of you probably know I have frequented, Raven Alternative. She has a full-on castle on her throne. I haven't got that on mine. I don't have a throne on my I don't have a castle on my throne. If I did have a castle, I would like it to have a throne though. That would be pretty cool. But like I do have some somewhat expensive toys and such in mine. Again, I'm not expecting to be able to buy them for myself anytime soon, and I'm not expecting anyone to be buying them for me anytime soon. Because, like, there is... can't have a castle without a throne, otherwise what's the point? Exactly. So, you know, if I have a castle, or if I eventually get a castle, I'm going to want a throne. And it's going to be fancy. When and how I end up with a castle, that is anyone's guess. But it's... but yes, like, I honestly don't remember what I've got on my throne right now. I'm trying to remember if I have anything crazy. As you've seen, I have some varied types of clothes. That's not necessarily the crazy part, so to speak. What have I got on there? Some makeup stuff, some stream stuff. Some collectible stuff. Oh yeah, I've got a come on, load. I have I think it's either a 1:1 or a 1:4 scale bust of Nanami from. I just had to double check that I didn't have anything doxing on my screen. It's fine. There is I have that on my throne, but that's about $1,000 Australian dollars. Again, I'm not expecting anyone to get me that. I just like looking at it. Do I have anything else that is any other outrageous things that are on my list? No, I just have a lot of clothes for the most part. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I need to find a castle to put on there then, or something suitably crazy. See if I can get someone to buy me a car. I don't know. I don't need a car. I have a car, and my car works fine. But I need something outrageous on there. Just so that people go, what the fuck? Why is that on your throne? So, but yeah, it's that is a command I have, but I need to figure out what other kind of fun commands I can put onto my throne. Because I've seen a few fun ones around, and I don't want just the you know, the functional ones, like the here's how you can find me ones. I have that. I think that's on a timer. But yeah, I want it to be fun for everybody. Recommend an island. They seem to be getting bad. Yeah, it could do. Yeah, I could definitely see. I might leave the islands off for a while. That's also because, you know, I don't have to travel to the island. I'd have to find a way to get to my island, and then I'd have to pay people to look after my island. So I might give the island a miss for now. Commute would be a nightmare. Oh, absolutely. Because basically, yes, like I was saying before, basically, I live in Australia. Basically, any kind of travel is a pain in the ass, unless it's like just very short domestic travel. So yeah, I might pass on that one for now. My cat has been annoyingly absent this stream. That's one of the other redeems I will be adding to the affiliate redeem point option and so on. Because I'm going to start keeping some treats in my office. And a redeem for said treats. Because that is one way, because she can hear the shake of a treat bag from the other side of the house. And things that sound like treat bags. So if I have one in my room, she will be here within minutes. Once she figures out where the sound has come from. Because obviously, like, it's not where she usually eats her treats. But it's, I'm kind of looking to see, I probably will have to put a limit on that one. Because I don't think she needs to overindulge in her treats. She's already well loved, I guess is probably the politest way to put that. She's not lacking in food at the moment. So I will be putting that on there, but probably only as like a limited quantity redeem. I think that'll probably suffice in the meantime. But I have a lot of ideas for redeems. That's why I'm like really excited. Like I've got 3 of the 4 affiliate targets at this rate. So I've got the required amount of followers so far, which is great. I've got the required amount of stream and stream hours, which is great. I just need to keep my average going, and that should be enough to tip me over the line. So I think we can do this. By we, I mean both myself and you in chat, because obviously, like, I can't do it without the people in chat. That's kind of important. So we have, but again, it's one of those things where I'll, as one of the former chatters, or who was in earlier briefly, the Jinx Dell has mentioned in a previous stream, it's kind of a case of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I plan on doing that and seeing, what redeems people want to see, and seeing, what points things I can do, and I don't know. I think maybe some stuff for like sub goals as well. I'm undecided on that one, but like I've got my follower goals. They are like relatively set. Although I did spend most of my last stream basically trying to fix one of my follower goals, because one of my further follower goals, because it's a game that will undoubtedly cause me to have an anxiety attack. One of my later follower goals is playing Subnautica, the survival horror underwater fish game. And it's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but it stresses me out to no end, because I have a fairly decent case of thalassophobia, which is a fear of, well, the open ocean and the things inside it. So I've played it, but so I know it will make for good viewing, because I'm probably going to get like a heart rate monitor or something during that time. But much like as I mentioned before when I was playing Quarantine Zone worked well on my computer when I was playing it offline, but the processing power to both play that game and stream caused it to basically turn into a slideshow when I tried to do it on stream a few weeks ago. So I fear that Subnautica may have the same issue, because my computer is a few years old and I have not gotten around to upgrading any parts of it, because I spend my money on other stuff. I like, amongst other things, I like these sorts of things and fashion stuff. I like buying my clothes, and I like buying quality clothes. And unfortunately, that shit adds up. So I have not upgraded my computer for a while. Add the upgrades to throwing wish list and hope shit. Well, that's not a bad idea, actually. I would need to research what parts of my computer are compatible for upgrades at the moment. But that is not a bad idea. But yeah, I kind of do want to do that, but that was a lot of my last stream, was finding alternatives, because if in the event that Subnautica turns to a slideshow when I try to stream it, I still want to have a stream that will give me an anxiety attack for the views. So I looked through several different options. I even made a list of options, and most of them are underwater related. One I found whilst I was looking for the underwater ones which I may still play on stream, but it may not be for that stream because it's a horror game, but it's also not. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my Steam. Where is my? Because I put most of them on my wish list. Okay, so let me just. If it'll let me do this. Because it's fun like that sometimes. Where is my damn browser screen? There it is. Now, if I can do this one, there it is. So we have a few games here, for example. So They Breathe, which is like these ones are just ones that I don't already have. There was a couple, like the game Dredge, for example, which I already have. I have played that. But if I were to replay it, it would be playing it outside of story mode. Because I played it on story mode so I could play the story without being at constant risk of immediate death. Because I feel like that's not a crazy thing. So I would play it on immediate death mode, essentially. So there's a few other games, as you can see here, some of which may or may not be more likely to kill my computer. Soma, for example, that's borderline. In terms of what my computer... It's 10 years old, but it's still going to be pushing it, I think. I'd probably have to play it on low settings. Narcosis, same problem. That game is like 10 years old, but it also looks like it'd probably be fairly graphically intensive. And... Sorry, there was some... Hang on. But then I've got these ones. They Breathe, Sunless Sea, and Silt. These look a lot more doable for my computer, essentially. But they still look suitably freaky that I may still have a panic attack. So I'm just trying to... Like this one, for example. That's creepy. Oh, goddamn. That is not what I wanted you to do. Sunless Sea, also kind of creepy, but not overly graphically intensive. But there is all about like undersea horrors, I guess, is for too much of it's getting it. That's fair enough. I mean, this particular stream is a while away because I'm pretty sure this one is like my 200 or 250 follower goal. So it's got a little bit of a ways to go for that one. So you're good. You got a bit of time. That's also like I too am also something of a scaredy cat. So that's why I think it'll make for a good stream. See how much I can play without having a panic attack. Probably start with a heart rate of like 120 just because my brain's already just like freaking out. So that is very much a possibility. But because of that, I've got a couple of different options that are less graphically intensive so I can still play games that will freak me out for stream. There is also another game, I did mention it in my last stream, which 23.5% of the way there. Yeah, exactly. That is a good way to look at it. So I got a little bit of time so I can brace myself for those ones. But at least I've got some options that aren't going to turn my stream to a slideshow if Subnautica does. So there is that. That is a bonus. And that kind of works out well. But I got time for that one. So I've got plans, but again, I gotta work my way up to it. At this rate, I've still got, I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen. You can't see that. At this rate, I'm getting closer to my 50 follower goal. Which in my case is I've got a Bean Boozled challenge. And for those not familiar with Bean Boozled, it is, they're basically jelly beans but there is a 50% chance that those jelly beans will taste either like something, tasty, like lemonade or cherry. And then there is just as equally an opportunity for them to taste like, wax or vomit. And so once I hit 50 followers, every follower after that, starting at 50, we have a bean. And I just have to deal with the consequences. Because that's not that'll be entertaining potentially for you guys. And there's like a 50% chance that it might be okay for me. I had a vomit flavored one. Yeah, I've seen another streamer doing one of those, and yeah, they basically, I'm pretty sure it was there was a flavor. I'm pretty sure it was the vomit one that they basically had to spit out anytime it came up because it was just that bad. And I get it. It's not it doesn't sound like an overly appetizing flavor. So I get that. Worst thing, yeah, that's fair. I can't imagine it would be a pleasant combination. So totally valid. But once I hit 50 followers, I'm going to be subjecting myself to that for funsies. So, fun for everyone, potentially. Unless I get a vomit flavored one. I'm going to have to see if I can just kind of push through it, because I don't really have anything I can kind of spit them out into up here. Because I feel like my cat would then try to eat it, and then she probably would actually vomit. So, then I'd have to deal with that, and then that just becomes a whole cycle, which is not great. So, but yes, we have plans. I haven't had a plan today, but I have plans in general, and I'm kind of leaning at this rate. What a stream that would be. Yes, well, it also depends on how quickly followers come in as well, because if I just average like a couple of followers a stream in that case, then it gives me a bit of a buffer for ignoring any of the more unpleasant ones. Sorry, I had a little bit of crap on the side of my nail. It's really annoying. And I'm not a nail biter. I find that particularly unpleasant. So, yes, I've been streaming for a minute. I should probably get on to playing games at some point, because, like, I generally don't have a huge, like, internal battery. So I still want to stream, I just can't necessarily do, like, massive streams. Not without, like, severely regretting it later. I want to work on Sam. Did you know if I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I don't know a lot about that sort of stuff. I'm sorry. I don't know if I can help you on that one. But thank you for joining me. Nonetheless, Google probably might be able to help a little bit better on that regard. I know surprisingly little about any of that. So I'm sorry, I can't help more on that one, but yes, potentially Google might be a good option on that one, but thank you for asking. I appreciate that you thought I might be able to help on that one. I like to help when I can. But unfortunately, that is not anything I have information on. But I hope your day is going well otherwise. I have to stop playing with my hair, but I can't help it. I just washed it and it's all like soft and fluffy. So, yeah, the Australian government's fun like that. Best city to build a career? Probably Melbourne or Sydney. Like, they're probably the biggest ones, depending on what you're going for. I don't necessarily like live like in the city, so to speak, so I can't speak for it entirely, But from my understanding is Melbourne and Sydney are generally like the biggest ones. Yeah, contact team, probably not a bad idea, yeah. Like, Australia has a lot of opportunities, but at this rate, a lot of it is still in like the central season. Are there a lot of resorts? Yeah, kind of. Probably more so in the coastal areas. Which in that case, you might even potentially want to look up in Queensland or Gold Coast if you're looking for resorts and things, because that is like the warmer climate in Australia, and that like there are a lot more resorts, I think, up in that area. Potentially. Anyway, I didn't actually go to a lot of resorts. I should do that. Having Gold Coast, yeah, I could see that. That's like I said, like the Gold Coast in general, like that's a pretty good area for that sort of thing, resorts and such. I think I haven't been to Queensland in many, many years, so I'm not 100% sure what it's like up there these days, but I do know that it's warm most of the year, so I would imagine it's pretty good for resorts. Potentially, anyway. Not a... You've got me curious now. Gold Coast, it's pretty constant. I mean, like, dead of winter, it might not be, like, super busy, I would imagine, but most of the rest of the year, it's, like, pretty good. I think, like I said, I haven't been there in years, but I feel like if it's, like, resorts and stuff, they would be the most likely to have stuff going for it, essentially. Like, there is a lot of other places in Queensland, but Gold Coast is, like, the resort area, essentially. But it is definitely like a holiday place, but at the same time, yeah. Queensland is warm like 10 months of the year in general, so I would imagine it still gets a lot of activity most of the rest of the year outside of summer, because it's fun. It's fun like that. But yeah, it's a good place if you like resorts and such. Queensland is probably going to be one of the better ones. Sydney and Melbourne, they're a little bit more, I guess, metro. Past first conversation with an Australian person. Well done. Good luck. But yes, it's I haven't been to Queensland in ages. I kind of want to go again now. And it's not like the middle of summer here now, so it's probably not stupidly hot up in Queensland. Just a regular hot. It's been stupidly hot down here, and I am not in Queensland. And that's made for a very fun environment. As I mentioned before, I kind of had to take a week off streaming because it was just so damn hot that I felt like my computer was going to melt. So, want a lot of this opportunities plans to happen. That's good. Well, hopefully you can make something out of it. That would be the ideal situation. So, yeah, fingers crossed for whatever you end up. Interior city. No, it's not that the interior cities are bad. It's just that a lot of the like business focus tends to be on like the capitals. So like there's still a lot of other places around. It's just that the highest concentration, I guess, of people are in the capitals. Like for example, like I was saying before, I don't live in the city itself. I live a little out of the city. It's still fine for me. I'm not going to say where I live, but it's a little bit out of the city. And like, yes, necessarily the opportunities may be a little bit lighter compared to being in the city, but there are still opportunities out there. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. But especially since you mentioned like resort style stuff, that is going to be more so in like the capitals or the coast. There's a lot of coastal places that aren't Sydney that would also probably be able to like offer that kind of opportunity as well. So it's yeah, a lot of it, like I said, just kind of comes down to what you're looking for, because there's plenty of places, but yeah, like it's regional opportunities are a little bit slimmer, I guess is probably the best way to put it, compared to more centralized areas. So it can be good. Like, it's kind of one of those things that you may get more higher paying opportunities the closer you get to a capital, but also the cost of living will be higher in those areas as well. So it kind of balances out from what I've found. So is James the kid? Oh, that's cute. Well, I wish the best for you in that regard. Because, you know, like especially like if you've been wanting to do it for a while, like it's if you've got the opportunity, go for it. Like I said, like I think I was saying before, like I haven't I've managed a resort title. Oh, that's good. That'll help. But like, there's a few places I'd like to, you know, live in, move to, and so on. But it's I'm an incredibly indecisive person, which does not help me in that regard. But yeah, if it's something that you want to do and you've got the Hamilton Island, oh yeah, that could be good. I know a little bit about Hamilton Island, not a lot, but I know of it. So that could be a good opportunity. But yeah, if it's something that you've been wanting to do and you've got the ability to do so, private island, I don't know if it's necessarily private. I'm honestly not sure on that one, now that you mention it. Can't decide if I'm indecisive. Yeah, it's a bit that way. Because yeah, like that's why I ended up doing my trip to England last year. It was just one of those ones where it's like, if I don't make myself do it, I'm never gonna go, and then I'm gonna regret it later. So I'm just like, to hell with it. I'm in a unique situation in that, like, I could do that. It's not something I can do often because that shit is expensive, but it was something at the time that I could do. And so I was just like, I need to do this now or it's not going to happen. And I do not regret it. I don't love the bill that came attached to it, but I do not regret that trip. I saw a lot of fun things. I met up with some fun people. I'd hope to go again and see more things and see more of those people. So, because like most of what I saw was based around London. So like I would like to see other places. I'd like to see, you know, the scenic areas. I'd like to see other cities. I'd like to see other parts of the UK. I've heard that there is a lot of very wonderful scenery in Wales, for example, and Scotland. So, Show off Yorkshire Sea, that's another place. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like that one as well. Australia's climate is pretty good most of the time. So, I will agree with you on that one. Because that is one thing, like, I went at a good time for England because I went in October, so I wasn't like in the middle of summer, but I also wasn't getting like caught out in the snow either. So I picked a good time to go on that. And in general, yes, Australia's climate is fairly good. Because that's one thing that I do like is that where I live, at the very least, is more of a dry heat. Are there a lot of Australians going out? I think it's a fairly even amount, like out and in that sort of thing, because it's just like it's a lot of. I think because we're a little bit more isolated, a lot of people tend to not necessarily like leave the country, but a lot of people like to visit out of the country because we are basically not isolated from the rest of the world, but we are far away from most of the world, so it's not the easiest. So a lot of people, when they have the opportunity, they're just like, hey, I want to see more of the world. So there is like probably a lot of people that are like leaving the country, but not necessarily like staying out of the country. Every year is less because the city's growing. Well, yeah, basically, because it's just like the cities are constantly growing. Essentially, it's like just using an example off the top of my head. Like I don't know how I'd Google that, but the size of Sydney in the year 2000 compared to the size of Sydney now is like 5 times the size. I don't know where I pulled that number from, but that I saw a chart for it at some point. But it's yeah, it's getting so the cities are getting busier. So yeah, there is definitely a bit of that going on for it. So yeah. But like I said, a lot of the time, if people get the opportunity in Australia, like a lot of them will still want to at least visit other places, if not necessarily like outright move to them. For example, like several years ago, I went to New Zealand, which is like Australia's neighbor essentially, and it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there as well. Would I move there? I don't know. It was from what I've heard, it's an expensive country to live in, but it was fun to live in. So it was fun. It was fun to go to, and I don't know why I brought that up. I honestly don't remember why I brought that up, but it's. But yeah, the Australian cities, and so it's on the bucket list mainly for Hobbiton. See, that is valid. That was one of the reasons I went over to New Zealand. I was a big Lord of the Rings fan growing up, and so I saw a bunch of sites. Some of them were Lord of the Rings related, some of them not Lord of the Rings related. Some of them a little bit more out of the way, but there was one that I actually, can I find it? There was one place that I went to. Have a letter tattoo on Elvish. That's pretty cool. I'm just trying to see if I can find. Oh, I don't even know where I put that. Because I did have a some of the pictures are more easily found than others. I'm just trying to see if I can find one that again does not dox me. Definitely can't put that one. That is not safe for stream. That is a very different photo. I am looking for. Where the hell did I put it? But there is a place that I went to. It is like I said, I took a lot of photos. Some of them were kind of from around that from the Lord of the Rings. Some of them were not. So there were a few that were good that I did definitely enjoy that were not on the list, but probably my favorite photo, if I can find the damn thing, it's taken from the location that they filmed where they filmed Edoras in the movies. One of my favorite photos from that, if I can find it, which is really annoying. New Zealand, there we go. That's the photo set that I'm looking for. Where's it gone? I'm pretty sure it's this photo. Oh, that is a very big photo. Okay, let me just fix that because that's a little big. Okay, let me just get this to a size where you guys can actually see it. Not that one. We're nearly getting there. That one. So that photo was taken at the same location that they did the shots for the exterior of the horse village Eros, I should say, in the movie, and that one is that is probably one of my favorite photos that I took there. It was a bit out of the way to get there because it was like 3 hours out of the city and then like an hour hike to get to. Sorry, Jinx. But it's that one, yeah, that was a few years ago. Let's see, do I have any other photos that you might hit me for? Let's see. Okay, I don't have a lot of the photos saved. So you're in luck. Okay, in my defense, I didn't know you then. If I went again, you're totally invited. How you get there, I'm not 100% sure. Terrible defense, I'm sorry. Yes, I realize that that probably wouldn't hold up in court. But yeah, part of that trip was because I wanted to go, because again, I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings. The other reason I wanted to go was it was kind of a fuck you to my ex, because she also was a big fan of Lord of the Rings, and New Zealand was kind of on her bucket list as well. And then she became an ex, and so I was like, oh, I still want to go to New Zealand. Guess she's missing out now. Friend went and can't even name the people in the fellowship. It was outraged. That is a fair reason to be outraged. How dare I not instantly know of existence take with you? That's fair. I'm sorry about that. That. Yeah, it was. I did the trip for me, but also, yeah, as a kind of sucks to be you kind of situation for her. I don't know if she even knows that I went. I don't really care if she knows, but it amused me to no end. And it was also like my first overseas trip, so to speak. So it's also why I picked New Zealand, because it's like a 3-hour flight from Sydney. So it was a lot more manageable if I needed to like return home. Plan on going some point. Got some fellow streamer friends over there. Oh, that's cool. Because like I did go to Hobbiton. Surprisingly, I don't seem to have any photos of that on my computer. I know I took photos. I have many photos of them, but I guess maybe I just saved them in a different part of my computer. I went to a few places. I'm just trying to think if there was any other like. Oh, there's Hobbiton. That's right. I won't show you that one because you'll be mad. That is an amazing emote, Jinx. But yes, I would recommend, if given the opportunity, to go to New Zealand, because there is a lot of great scenery and such to do over there. I also did I did a lot of sightseeing just in general outside of that. Actually come over there and be, well, you got to get here first though, Jinx. Oh, I forgot. I went to a cat cafe while I was there too. Was not expecting to see a cat cafe in New Zealand, but I was like, hey, I'm going to this cat cafe. That's. Oh, there it is. This. One of my other personal favorites is this one. It's not from anywhere in particular in New Zealand, but it is one of my favorite photos as well. I quite liked that location. It's like the very, very top of New Zealand. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the cat cafe. Why am I not finding the cat cafe in this particular folder? That is... Okay, that's weird. My computer won't let me load the cat cafe photos. That is so rude. Gorgeous photos, thank you. Like I said, they were probably my two best photos. So I've got at least one of them hanging in my house somewhere. Day turn up in a bit of height. Yeah, fair enough. But yes, I've got to, I would love to go to New Zealand again, but I want to go to England again, and I want to get tattoos again. So I got a lot of stuff that I want to get more of, but I have to like save up for them first. But I'd love to do all of those, and I would even do it as a group trip. I have no issue with that now. I've done New Zealand as a solo trip, so that was like I did that because like I did that as a road trip. That was actually really fun. It was like my first big trip. I rented a car when I was in New Zealand, and I drove from the top of New Zealand to about halfway down the bottom of the bottom island. I did have a photo of that, but again, it may not let me load it for some stupid reason. Hang on, let me just open this picture to make sure that it does not include any doxable information. It shouldn't. It is just a Google photo, but it took me about 2 weeks of travel. I was driving most of the way there, just rented a car, and I started up there, and then over the course of about 2 weeks, I went all around there. It was fun, but it was extremely exhausting, because again, 2 weeks of driving. I prefer to just kind of fly if I had the option to again and just kind of go one to the other. But I don't regret having done it as a road trip. Because again, I don't really do road trips. But that gave me a good opportunity because I knew that all of the stuff that I wanted to see was so spread out across the country. I was like, there's no chance I'm going to see that just by flying. I am going to have to drive to places. And drive I did. And so much driving. So I think if I go again, I might just pick like a couple of locations as opposed to like the checklist that I was working my way down. But that was the advantage of traveling at solo, was that I could do it at my own pace. I didn't have to worry about like what other people wanted to do, if I had to change my plans or anything like that, if it was going to mess up anyone else's schedules. But because there was a couple of days where I was just like, the weather is just not happening today in a way that works. So I'm just going to do something else for today instead. Gonna head to bed. I'm tired. It's late. That is fair. It is quite late over there, so that is all good. Thank you for joining me again, Lizzie. I appreciate the stop in. I should probably get around to actually playing some sort of game. As I had said before, I was planning to play at least some kind of game today, and I haven't. I've mostly just been talking. ATs, streaming, and New Zealand. I said that an hour ago. I did. It's one of those things where I really should just stop planning to play games. More often than not, I just spend 3 hours talking, which like I don't hate. Like I have no problem with doing that. But I keep saying I'm gonna game, and then I get distracted by conversations. Longest road trip is to London. That's only 4 hours, including traffic and pee breaks. I mean, that's still like. Traffic does not make that fun, because it was kind of funny actually. When I went to England, I met up with Ray and Crow and at MCM, they asked how long my travel took. I mentioned how long my travel took. It was about 24 hours on a plane, 3 hours to get to the plane, and then, I don't know, a little bit of travel to get from my hotel to that. And they were just like, oh, I feel bad about complaining about my 2-hour train ride from Manchester to London then. And I was like, that's fine. I probably would still complain about a 2-hour train ride there as well anyway. So, yeah, it's not to downplay, because it was like, they asked how long it took me to get here. I wasn't gonna lie about that. But public transport in general is not always the most fun travel experience. So I was not going to deny them their complaint for their travel to MCM as well. Because I probably, if I was in their shoes, I probably would be complaining as well. I have mixed opinions about the London public transport. Some of it was good, others not so much. Granted, most of what I did was via the underground, so it was 2026 and portals haven't been invented yet. I know, that's so rude. I have often wondered eventually how long it would take for them to invent workable teleportation. I mean, the corporations would massively make it a rich person only thing, which is a little annoying. And it would probably be many years before that level of technology would be available to the general public, which is extremely rude. But it is something that I have often hoped for. It's amazing how much of a culture shock I get in London on their buses. See, I didn't actually go on their buses, which when I mentioned that to Raven and Crow, they were very surprised by that, because I was just like, I did everything via underground, basically. And they were just like, you can go on the other ones, the buses? And I was like, no, not particularly. I was like, if I could get from one place to the other without having to take too many stops, then that was the way that I went. But that's maybe a next time thing. I should probably take some kind of bus over there, because I've not actually been on a London bus. Just curious, what part of it was a culture shock? Just so I can potentially brace myself. Because again, I don't take a lot of public transport. I'm usually either driving or catching a train. Wales, you get on the front door, do you take and get off? It's the same door and you thank the driver. Actually, we do a bit of that in Australia as well, thanking the driver. That's good to know, actually, because I've seen a lot of people commenting that it's just thanking the driver, and this is one of those things where it's just doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just maybe just a quick thanks, nod of the head kind of thing. Doesn't have to be big, but apparently in a lot of places that's not common. So yeah, I would probably be thrown by that as well, actually, because again, I don't do a lot of buses, but that was a thing that we yeah. So some of the buses actually, now that I think of it, there are some buses in Australia where they have the middle doors, the middle and front doors. But yeah, the whole not acknowledging the driver part, that's a bit weird. Interesting. Because I have not I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that next time I go to London. When that is, I have no idea. But funnily enough, don't know if you can see in the corner there behind the makeup. So there is a figure there with a post-it on there, and that one was something that I had brought to take with me to London It was a pre-order, and it was supposed to have arrived like a month before I went to London. That pre-order got delayed, and it arrived about 2 weeks ago. Given that, again, I bought it for London in October, I was not super thrilled with that delay. So next time I go to London, I might need to take that with me, because that was... I know I may have gone a little bit overboard at that point in time on, gifting, as you're probably aware. That one is another one from that point in time. It was just a leftover. She knows about it. That's for Raven, if you haven't figured that one. Just because I thought it would be funny given how much she was thirsting over the character Choso in the Jujutsu Kaisen trailer. And I was like, no, it would be really funny. And so I got that, and then I wasn't able to give it to her, which was kind of a bummer, but, not that she was lacking in stuff that I brought. So that is a thing for the next time I go to London. It's always next time, exactly. Again, when next time is, I don't know. But for next time, until then, it's just going to live in my collection. So, yeah. I think it looks quite good, so I'm actually tempted to get like one for myself. Because that's... I don't know if that's something that you're interested in or not. But that was... So that's what that looks like. And it looks quite cool. So I kind of want to get one for myself now, because now that it's not a pre-order, and I can actually get one for myself. So we'll see how that goes. But it's also why I've added a few different figures on my throne as well, because I'm just like, I want to add more to my setup, because there's more room I feel like I could fill out on that one, and that is one of them potentially. But again, I'm prone to impulse control issues when it comes to buying stuff, especially when it comes to figures or clothes, and hence why I added them to my throne, so that I would remember them for later. So whether it's me or someone else who buys it, that is the question. Because I mostly put it there so that I wouldn't forget that it's there. I see the shiny item. I may not be able to afford the shiny item, but I still want the shiny item. So I save it onto the throne so that like when I check my throne, I can go, oh yeah, I was looking at that. So it's a combination wish list and shopping list. Eventually. So just a matter of time. But yes, I would like to go to London again. That would be disconcerting about the whole thing you were saying there about the whole, not thanking the driver thing. That's a little bit odd. That would take some getting used to. But yes, that would be good fun. And I keep saying that I'm going to play a game. I'm debating now, because I'm up to 2 hours and I haven't touched anything yet. So whether I play or not is now debatable. Because it's one of those things where, like, I'm extremely indecisive just in general, and like, I'll play games. Don't you worry about that, but it's just a matter of which one do I want to play, which do I want to play on stream, and which ones do I want to play in my own time. Because it's a lot of games. But I tend to invest myself too much into it, and then I feel guilty for stopping, but at the same time I generally do occasionally need to actually stop, because, my internal battery is not amazing. So I can't always go the distance, which is really annoying. So we do what we can. But yes, if you do have the opportunity to travel, I would recommend it. Obviously, like, that is kind of like limited, obviously, by like time and money. That's my biggest issues at the moment, is time and money. Because again, I'd go to England, I'd go to the UK in general. There's a lot of places I'd like to see. So, like I was saying before, like, I basically only really saw London. I'd love to see more like other places in England. I'd love to see a lot of the places in Wales and Scotland as well. Possibly even Ireland. I don't know a lot about Ireland, but I'd imagine that it's probably got some stuff there as well. And so, like, there's a lot of places I would go to if given the opportunity. Like, if money was not a thing, I would 100% be doing a lot more traveling. But yes, if you ever have the opportunity to do so, I would recommend it. Always go north in Wales and Scotland and England. Interesting. That's good to know. I should probably look and see what's actually up there. So North Wales, North Scotland, and Northern England. I don't know enough about my England and my UK geography to know, but like, it's a lot, like a lot of like, I would like to see more cities, but at the same time I would also like to see more of the like the scenery as well, because I feel like there's a lot of cool things up there. Pretty areas. Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know, because like, yeah, I would like to see more areas. Time is my biggest issue as well at the moment. I don't really have I feel like I would want to spend time in all of those places, and I was up in England for like a week last time. That week basically disappeared in an instant. And I'm just like, how would I see other things if like I barely got a chance to see like around London in a week. Lake District apparently really gorgeous and calm. It's really North England. Oh, okay. That's good to know. But like, yeah, there's a lot of places I would like to see up there. Because like, I'm more of a city person, but as you saw with my New Zealand photos, I can definitely appreciate a good landscape. So I would definitely go up there if I had someone to look after my cat. Because I had to hire a cat sitter for the week that I was gone. That adds up. Because I don't really know people around where I live, or at least not people that I would trust with my house. So that complicates things a little bit, which is a little unfortunate. If I knew more people where I lived, I would feel more comfortable to just go, hey, can you look after my... Actually, no, that's not true. I did ask people that I knew around here. They never got back to me. I'm a little annoyed by that. That's why I had to hire someone to look after my cat. I'm a little annoyed by that now. I've annoyed myself. Because I was hoping that I could get someone that I knew that was not connected to my ex in any way, to look after my house and cat. And then they never got back to me until like after I'd booked everything. And I was like, well, it's too late now. So I would trust them with my house and cat, but yeah, timing didn't really work out well on that one. One of the coworkers used to always go to Lake District on holiday time off, always raved about it. Oh, that's handy. That's good to know, actually. Because that sounds really nice. But yeah, time is like my biggest thing, because it's literally a day trip just to get over there. Because a short trip, a short flight to the UK is about 23 hours. And that's with like minimal layover. If they've got a layover, you're going to be there for a while. And that was... Yikes, yeah. Like I said, it was literally a day in a plane. Well, 2 planes, but because it was like halfway point. Because I think, what did I... I think it was Sydney to Singapore and then Singapore to England. My other option was Sydney to Qatar and then Qatar to England, but I didn't want to push my luck given that that part of the world does not have a great track record with gender non-conforming people. So I was like, I'll go via Singapore. So that reduces the odds of any problems in that regard. So may as well. Well, I mean, you could if you wanted a little bit of a break between planes. Then, yeah, I think it was like 8-hour trip, then like a 14-hour trip. So 2 planes with a bit of a gap in the middle for a layover. So that was. I didn't have a lot of layover because I kind of just wanted the trip part of it to be done. I like traveling, but I prefer to be at the destination as opposed to the traveling part itself. So, was actually kind of, yeah, it was long, but I don't remember most of it because I think my brain just kind of shut off for most of that trip. So, silver lining, I guess. Oh, sorry. I knocked over a can. I thought it was a can I had something in. It didn't, luckily. But yes, it's that's what you would have to look forward to if you were to ever do a trip over to New Zealand. Because there is a bit of a travel time on that one. I would imagine they would probably have to stop in Sydney as well, potentially. I don't know. I've not travelled that particular route, so I couldn't tell you. But it's a the journey, the trip itself was good. The travel, I don't remember because my brain just either thought it was not important enough or it did not have fun with it. So it just kind of went, no, you don't need to remember that. Apparently, that's my brain's go-to for a lot of things. It's gotten me into trouble a couple of times, apparently. That's not great. I don't have a lot of control over that. That is a fun little thing called post-traumatic amnesia. That's a little fun fact for you. Because I do not remember like 80% of my life prior to like last year. And there are several people connected to my life that do not love the fact that I do not have those memories anymore. And I'm just like, well, I have no control over that. Shouldn't have put me into a traumatic situation then, should you? But that's the good thing. I don't remember what those events were. Also means I don't remember most of the rest of the stuff around it, but that's beside the point. So, silver linings and such. Trauma sucks ass. It sure does. I try to find the silver linings where I can, but annoyingly, I've found out somewhat recently. Apparently, can't be traumatized if you don't remember the trauma. You would think so, wouldn't you? But apparently, the brain does this funny thing where, like, if you have amnesia similar to like the short or long term amnesia, the trauma memory is actually saved to a different part of the brain. So if you just because you forget about the other stuff, the brain can still recall the trauma very readily, which is really annoying because apparently it's like there's like a block or something that prevents the brain from being able to integrate that into the rest of the memories. So it's, yeah, that's the amygdala part. That sounds about right. So, but yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, I don't necessarily need those memories to be like fresh in mind. But luckily, there is I've learned to, like, unless I'm actively doing something in therapy, not to push too hard on those walls, so to speak. And like, that's interesting. Why is that? I do not know enough about that to know why that is. But yes, I've learned that there are some walls that are up for a reason. So unless I'm like actively dealing with it in therapy, I try not to scratch those walls too much. Because probably walls up for a reason. A song called McDonald's, a song about, oh, that's interesting. That is not what I was expecting. But that would do it. That's actually quite cool. I think I might have to, actually, because I don't think I've heard of that one. I'm going to grab my little notepad again, because there was something else that I was recommended to look at earlier. And I forgot about it. So I need to write it down. It's on my notepad now. As long as I don't forget I have a notepad, then we're fine. But I will always remember the notepad. But yeah, that is basically... oh, that's right. I didn't even catch that. What are we writing down? Oh, it was the name of a song. Apparently there was we were talking about how funny the memory is when it relates to things to do with trauma, and the subject of the amygdala came up, and apparently there is a song called that, and so I was going to write that down because that sounds like that could be worth listening to, and if I don't write it down, I will forget it. Almost guaranteed. Although, I will probably have to rewatch this VOD anyway, because, like, you know, you never know when I might accidentally be funny. I don't generally plan to be funny. Sometimes it just happens. I don't usually plan it, so I have to rewatch VODs to go, oh, that was kind of funny. I might save that. Trauma, my old friend, yeah, pretty much. So we were just talking about that, and then some music, and so I was writing that one down so I could remember to give that a listen later. And having some... talking about the pros and cons of amnesia. There is there's a lot of cons to it. Not as many pros. Be careful, it comes with a contact warning where... oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's probably fine for me anyway. But that is good to know, though. Thank you. I'll probably still check it out, though, because it sounds like it's still a good song. I'll still give it a chance, but it's a as you could probably but yeah, no, I appreciate the heads up on that one. I'll most likely, I mean, as you can probably imagine, Jinx, you of all people probably aware of the of my current musical situation, in that I'm listening to a lot of ATs at the moment, as you're probably aware. So there is a lot of that currently on my playlist. So I'll see if I can squeeze it in. But yes, it was that's good to know, actually. I like finding out about new music and such, and it was actually kind of funny, like when I was booking the tickets for the Anthrax Megadeth, I know of them. I don't think I've necessarily listened to them. I know of them, though. But, like... so I can't say I have a strong opinion one way or the other on them, just because, like, I know of them, but I don't know how much of their stuff I would know. Like, I would probably recognize it if I heard it, but I probably couldn't tell you what the other... Yeah. No, where the No, we're talking about the band is it's the music is the band is called ATEEZ, so it's ATEEZ. They're a K-pop band. Um, that's the one. Thank you, Jinx. Um, but yes, I bought tickets for them a few weeks ago because I hadn't been to a concert in years, and I was like, oh, I feel like I could go to a concert. And then I went to look and see who was performing in the near future, and the band or group ATEEZ popped up on my list as they were performing in Australia in the next few weeks, and I was like, wow, what are the odds? And it's kind of funny because like a year ago, I didn't even know who they were, and now I'm apparently going to their concerts. So, but it's there's a lot of that on my playlist at the moment right now. So it's I'm hoping that it will reinvigorate the live music bug. It's the Raven influence. Oh, it's 100% Raven's fault. Well, it's like 80% Raven's fault. I've specifically told her that. I did tell her that it is like I am aware that it is ultimately my decision and money to like buy the tickets, but it was her streams that had that had reinvigorated my interest in K-pop music in the first place. So she did get a chuckle out of the fact that I said she is partially responsible for this decision. But I think she was happy to be partially responsible for that decision. So, but yeah, it's I don't think I'm going to regret this particular concert. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've been debating getting like some contacts for it because like I don't think I could get the same kind of prescription contacts that a lot of others do, at least not not the cool ones. But I do have an interest in like getting similar kind of mini sclera ones, much like she has, because I feel like that would work with the vibe of an ATEEZ concert. So that's kind of why I want to do that. If I can, I really need to get onto that because their concert's in like 3 weeks. Also, learned about ATEEZ thanks to Especially Bouncy. Yeah, there's a lot of. It was actually kind of funny. Like I was not aware that they were releasing a new EP until after I had bought the tickets, and then I happened to have heard it on and then it was someone mentioned it on stream, and then I was like, oh shit, new music, what did I miss? And then obviously added that to my playlist immediately. So I was like, I'm not as on top of it as she is, but I am still interested in it. So I don't have like the PCs and playbooks and like physical albums and that sort of stuff. But I still have an interest in the music. And they are all very pretty. I can appreciate that too. Should say I would not put it out of the question. She would probably marry him if he gave her like a rare PC. I mean, she's already going to marry him, but you know, she'd marry him on the spot. But yes, it was. So I'm very much looking forward to that concert because like I haven't been. You also saw Crow. Well, I mean, I'd say she probably has a little bit more say on being able to sell Crow in that regard. You might have to run that one past her, I think. But it was a but yeah, I'm very much excited to go to this just because it was like the odds of them coming to Australia at the exact time that I had an urge to go to a concert for the first time in years. She misses? No. No, we're referring to the streamer Raven Alternative and her partner Crow. Raven Alternative is a big K-pop fan, like a massive K-pop fan. And yeah, so we're just referring to them. That is actually how Jinx and I were introduced to each other was via her streams. So you'd probably offer him anyway. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask. So far, yeah, sorry about that. I realize that this is a very sort of context specific conversation. So I do apologize about that. But yes, I am going to a concert and I am very excited for this concert. And I need to pick an outfit for this concert at some point in the next few weeks because I don't know what you wear at a concert. I'm like I said, I haven't been to one in like 4 years and my sense of style has very much changed in those years. So it's what I would have worn to a concert in those days is very much not what I would wear to a concert now. It's very much not my style. My sense of style has extremely developed or changed or both in the intervening years. So I have so many things that I would like to last thing I went was 5 6 the style doesn't fit. It's a little bit different. I know of them, but I can't say I've seen them live. But as long as it was fun, that's the main thing. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping that going to this one will reinvigorate my love for live music. Had a blast. Well, that's good. That's the main thing. Because that's like, yeah, that's what you want to. That's what you want at a concert. I'm a little annoyed that like I can't take my camera as such. I think that's a pretty common thing with like live shows. Is that, like you can take your phone, which I will be doing, but you're like unless you're like a licensed event photographer, you're not allowed to bring like DSLRs. Don't think skinny jeans, vest, and flannel shirt around the waist match the 80s vibes. Maybe not. You'd probably stand out, but not necessarily for the right reasons. And like I work full time, so I have a boss, and I was telling I was telling my boss about the upcoming concert, and he kind of said the same thing that I just said then, and I was just like, what kind of demographic do you think is going to be at this event exactly? Because I was like, I might stand out a little bit, but like I don't think I'm going to stand out that crazy. But like, yeah, my boss, I don't think they really knew a lot about K-pop, so they were a little out of the loop as well. But to be fair, they don't see me looking like this. They see me basically like wearing my work appropriate clothing, which is a lot more boring because I don't have time in the morning to go glam. They get my basic dress code outfit and whatever makeup hasn't come off when I've cleaned it at the end of the night. Usually a little bit of the eyeliner is still left over. I don't have a lot of luck getting all of my eyeliner off in one go. So it tends to just kind of, a little bit still kind of there as like as a tiny highlight for the next couple of days. You returned. Welcome, Pixie. Hopefully, how's the editing been doing? We've just been talking about, talking about ATs. Hated it? Well, hopefully you at least made some progress at least, because like, if you hated it, at least if you made some progress, you've got less of it left to do. So that's the main thing. Finished it, tossed it to the void, never look at it again. Yeah, that's fair. I've done that a lot of times recently as well. And it was kind of a case like, for example, I recently found out that apparently my extended family has seen a lot of my social media content, and like I don't do anything crazy, but I was just like, I was just like, oh, okay, well, they know a few more things about me now, don't they? And like, because a lot of what I do in that kind of regard, like I'll make it, I'll post it, and then I'll kind of just forget about it unless it happens to go viral. Which I think I've only had happen like twice, which I'm not complaining about. But when I was informed of that recently, I was like, what did you see? So I actually had to, like, I went through my TikToks and everything, and I was like, there's nothing that bad on there. It's fine. I don't know why they said that so ominously. It's like, I've seen your TikToks, and I was like, cool. What about it? So, but yes, I looked over it because I'd forgotten most of what I had put out. Why they do that, I have no idea. I think they were mostly just curious because, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I've never hidden my social media stuff to them, but I've also never really, like, I don't bring it up to them. But so I guess they got curious one day and they looked me up, and then they were like, oh, we've seen your content. And I'm like, cool. It's not a secret. So yeah, I appreciate that they were like doing it out of, like, they were checking me out of like concern or something, but it was just the way that they worded it. I was just like, back from cooking. Nice. Welcome back. We've been talking about music and content creation most recently. Had a friend from home message to say I look great in my shorts as Miku, and now messaging me to make me meet their sister. Okay, that's interesting. It's yeah, that's one of those ones where I'm just like, both of those things I'll bet you do. Especially given that one of those things that I was talking about was 80s, which you are probably very familiar with now. And yes, we've just also been talking about being unexpected communication from people seeing content. As a theme of confessing love to every woman he knows, I've dated for 6 years because I never wore makeup in front of him. Oh, this one is Takedown. This is from the K-pop Demon Hunters movie. But oh yes, no, this is the same. So yeah, sorry, Pixie. We're talking about the K-pop group ATEEZ. So ATEEZ. But I do like some 80s music as well. No, that's all right. That's I had the same comment earlier in the stream as well. I am very aware that does sound very similar. Bacon fell into that trap as well. Made that mistake many times. I bet you have. Maybe Unk. Well, that is, I don't know what to say to that, because realistically, I am probably older than all of you. Physically speaking, at least, like, courtesy of amnesia, I don't actually know how old I am mentally, but physically, I'm probably older than all of you. So I should theoretically be the most unk of all of this chat right now. So, but I'm going to a concert. I'm very excited. They've been a big part of my playlist at the moment. And yes, and then we were talking about Pixie's been doing some editing and not been having a lot of fun. 30s about 70s, fair enough. You've had a lot of crap happen to your knees as well, though, so I'd say that probably doesn't help. 41, okay, well, that's pretty close then. I'm not far off that. I'm a few years off that, but that is surprising. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to be the oldest one here. But yes, I am in, hang on. Let me check my license. I don't have my passport, because courtesy of said memory issues, I don't actually remember how old I am. Late 30s. Oh, you found that part of chat, did you, Crow? Right. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that may have came up. Only by a little bit, Bacon. You're still like, you're still close. It's all good. By scrolling, it's one of those things where it's like, maybe don't ask too many questions. But yes, and at some point I do need to actually get around to editing my MCM things. Hey, thank you for the follow, Jay. I appreciate that. What am I listening to? Oh, Savage Garden. There you go. I uploaded to YouTube and they claim my YouTube music there. Music synced. Oh, that's so annoying. I've had that happen once. I've had that happen before, actually, because like I uploaded a video. I can't remember what it was. I had a royalty-free song in like the intro or something, and that it's royalty-free, so it should be fine. I still got like a warning for that one because they were just like, "Oh, we've got unlicensed music." I'm like, "No, I literally paid for this song." This is literally like licensed music that I have the license for. Why are you giving me a warning for this? But I was extremely annoyed by that because they were just like, "Oh, we sense music," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's music that I own. Be cool." The fact that you got the song off them, that's weird. YouTube yearns for awkward silence. Well, that's like, luckily I have a lot of that on my VOD because the music that you hear now is not on my VOD. So you get me yapping, which to be fair, I try not to have too many awkward silences for that. Also used music on YouTube and my stream was royalty free and still got muted. Yeah, that's so weird. It's like, I literally got this music because it is not going to cause me any problems. Why is it causing me problems? That was so annoying. I'm just like, well, if they're gonna get me in trouble for music that I own, then what am I supposed to do with that? Awkward silence it is. But I've still got to get around to editing my London vlog. I never actually got around to that. I should do that at some point. And so I'm going to need to find out something for like royalty-free music for that. And hopefully that won't get, if I end up uploading it, that is, then hopefully that won't get hit with stuff. So, because like I still have to make that. And I would like it to not just be me talking the whole time. So ideally, some kind of royalty-free music would be preferred because, you know, I'm not big enough to be incorporating licensed music into my videos yet. So that might be a while away. Just make my own music by dropping my coloring drawer downstairs and get DMC. That's a good that's a good way to do it. Just make your own music in one way, shape, or form. Like, you know, just start beatboxing and hope that, you know, you don't just get DMCA'd by some random SoundCloud rapper. Because that's, I have briefly, like, contemplated that. I have a very varied creative base. I'm okay at a lot of things. I'm not good at a lot of things. Like, I've done a little bit of sound editing, not a lot. I've done some graphic design, not a lot. I've done some video editing, not a lot. And it's all kind of like, I could make my own music if I really wanted to, but do I have the patience to actually make it? Because I'm also a perfectionist, and it's like, if I'm not amazing at it from the get-go, then we got a problem. Based on our combined experience, I'm not sure safe music exists. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Dan and Phil made lo-fi music especially for content creators. Oh, interesting. That could be something. But yeah, so I'm debating whether I make my own music for the London thing. Think Lily Pitcher did the same. Okay. That's kind of cool. That is actually like, knowing YouTube, they'll still probably mute it though. Because it sounds like they'll just give you a warning for anything, apparently. Which is a little bit unfortunate and annoying. Because it's like, I'm sure Raven has probably had a lot of experience with this as well, but apparently even stuff that you theoretically own is still enough to get muted or struck these days, which is not helpful for people who, you know, don't have a lot of experience with that stuff. She can confirm. I had a feeling. So yeah, it's a work in progress, and like literally that progress has so far basically just been me copying footage from my camera onto my computer and opening it in a video editor. I've yet to actually edit it though. So I think I've got about 2 minutes of edited footage, and I'm not happy with that footage yet. So, but again, that is possibly also due to the fact that I'm just like, I know you got to start somewhere. Because, you know, you can't start at perfection, as annoying as that is. And opening song from Forgot DMC. Oh, see, yeah, that's so weird. Because, like, I know that she's mentioned that she has the rights to that song. So that's so weird that that would get DMCA'd. But, yeah, it's like what do you mean I can't say? I know. I'm disappointed by that too, because it's one of those ones where it's like, unfortunately, I would like if I tried to aim for perfection as much as I wanted to, I would never get anything finished. It's one of those ones where it's like sometimes you just have to do the best you can and learn from that, I suppose. I have to try to be better. I know. Because like that's the same with my like art and graphic design stuff. Like I'm not the best, but you know I have a baseline of knowledge of that. I found out if I'm not good at something, I won't do it. Yeah, I was the same with that, and it's just like, for example, those 3 paintings behind me there. I made those, but I have about half a dozen other paintings that are currently sitting in a cupboard because I am not happy with how they turned out. Those ones I am happy with, but yeah, I have like half a dozen. I mean, I haven't painted since then because I was just like, I do not have the patience or ideas to come up with new stuff right now. I love being better, so improving it, shit, suck it, and like, see, I mean, that's a good way to go about it though, because like, I would like to improve at what I'm doing. That's like probably the best example. Makeup. Like I don't know, a couple of years ago, like when I attempted to do makeup, it came off as like way too glam for what I was trying to pull off. And I was just like, that's not a bad look, but it's definitely not a look that I can pull off. And I've been doing practice. Basically, like that's another reason that I stream, because it gives me an incentive to do one of these and like get practice of that. And I feel like, especially over the last couple of months, because I've been practicing it more and more frequently, it's been getting easier to pull off, and it's been easier for me to find a style that kind of works for me. Used to be awful at rhythm games, so I picked up drums. Now I'm quite good at music. Oh, that's pretty cool. I still suck at rhythm games. I don't think I've ever been good at rhythm games. It's weird. My hand-eye coordination is extremely selective. That sort of stuff I'm not good at. I don't think I don't think even with practice, like I did a lot of Guitar Hero when I was younger. I don't think I was ever good at it. I was the gifted child, but oh yeah, no, I definitely had gifted child syndrome as well. It's like you excel at stuff as a child, and then all of a sudden you have to start learning new things, and it's not coming to you immediately, and then eventually you burn out great. But yeah, like I fully acknowledge like a lot of the stuff that I do is pretty scuffed. Like like I said, a lot of the elements that I have made for this stream so far, like I have made myself. And I'm aware they are not the best just yet, but they're mine. And that gives me something to improve on later. Again, once I kind of figure out more of what I want my style to look like. So it's one of those ones where it's like you have to acknowledge the flaws in order to be able to fix them. So it took me a lot of therapy to realize that, probably more than it should have, which I don't love. Because again, I like just being good at stuff. But like nowadays, like I am okay, I'm perfectly okay to acknowledge, yeah, I'm not good at that, but I'll get better. So it's also, you know, all about practice. And I mean, again, to some things there are a degree of natural talent that is required. Like that definitely helps. But that is also how you end up in like gifted child syndrome, is that you have a degree of natural talent, but if you don't work on it, it's going to stagnate. And then that's when, you know, that's when burnout happens. Also due to the fact that, I won't go into too much detail, I was in a long-term relationship where I basically lived for the other person. Again, therapy since then. But I basically lived for that person and was not necessarily doing things for myself. So a lot of my skills stagnated. And the last couple of years since that relationship, I have basically been working to rebuild the skills that I had let stagnate during those years. So that's definitely kind of a case of needing to acknowledge where you've fallen so that you can get yourself back up again. But yeah, it's like, I'll get there with a lot of things. But yes, it's, I forgot where my conversation was going. That's fun. And that's also the sort of thing as well, like streaming, for example. I keep saying I'm going to play games, and yet I've had like half of my streams, I'm like, I'm going to play a game. And then I just talk for 3 hours. And then I'm like, oh, I've run out of battery now. I don't know if I can play a game. But I enjoyed all the talking. So it's finding your strengths, I suppose. And apparently, when I get going, I don't shut up. It's a fun little side effect of having had difficulties socializing as a child, is you get real good at talking to yourself. And silver lining. Silver lining to traumatic events. But yes. I have completely mentally blanked on what I was just about to say. I apologize for that. I just noticed I'm creeping ever closer to my 50 follower goal, which I was not expecting today. I'm not complaining by any means. But every little step closer helps, so I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not overly looking forward to the Bean Boozled challenge, which I've set myself for 50 followers, because, like, yes, there are some good flavors. There are also some very not good flavors. And knowing my luck, I'm going to pick the bad flavor more often than I pick the good flavor. But that's why I do it, because hopefully my reactions to those flavors will be enjoyable for everybody that is not me. But yeah, so I can definitely relate to editing issues, and that's where I got, like, Sorry, I just realized where this whole tangent came from. Was talking before about editing, and I would show you some of it, but I honestly don't know where in my computer I've saved all of my footage to. It's hang on, I'm gonna see if I can show you, because I can't necessarily edit on stream because my computer's processor. Excuse me. My computer's processor can barely handle stream and a very light game. The processing requirement of streaming and video editing would probably kill it. I'm curious as to where I've put it though, because I have like 4 different external hard drives connected to my computer, so I lose track of which ones I've actually saved stuff to. It is not that one. It is not that one. Is it? No? Okay, not that one. Hang on, let me have a look. Well, because I fill them up very quickly somehow. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so I currently have connected. Like I have my base drive, my C drive. I also have 2 portable SSD drives and one that is not currently connected, but that I do have somewhere. So at least 3. Because I kind of like, they each have their purposes. Like one of the SSD drives is for games, one of the SSD drives is for like videos and such. I can't remember what the third one's for. I think that's just for like general backups. So it's but like none of them are crazy big. They're all okay. They're apparently I'm not great with my space management, because I just looked at my my file manager. My C drive is like half a terabyte, so like again, this computer's 5 years old, and the 2 SSD drives currently connected to it are both 1 terabyte ones, and they're both about 75% full. I might need to clear out some of that. That is probably part of the reason I'm having some trouble finding where I saved my London trip footage. I mean, it'd still probably be on my SD card. But which of these videos which one of these SSD memory things I saved it to, that is anyone's guess. That is, oh no, there it is. I found it. It's like 3 layers deep. That is, oh God, why? Well, can't say I'm not organized. I've got it sorted into like 5 different folders within another folder. Oh, that's helpful. The folder that I have labeled edited footage is empty. That's not promising. Edited photos? No, that's fine. That's all on my Instagram. Raw footage. I have so much raw footage. So much so that it has been loading. There it is. What is... Yeah, how big is this folder? My raw footage folder, just for comparison's sake. I have, for my London trip, which granted was 3 to 5 days, a lot of that was on a plane, so that may not necessarily count, is apparently about 35 gigabytes of footage. And I have to trim that down to a usable amount of footage. So again, and I wasn't necessarily planning to, like, I didn't necessarily film vlog style as much as I liked when I was over there, so I might have to get creative on my editing for that one. What is that? Oh, okay. There's more photos that I was not expecting to see. Um, but yes, that is another reason why my footage has not been edited yet, because I have 36 gigabytes of footage to go through and trim down to be half an hour or less. Because, you know, if I want people to watch it, I have to make it at least a reasonable time. I also have to kind of, I don't know, get a theme going for it or something, because, like, a lot of what I've filmed was more like video diary as opposed to, like, travel vlog style. Because, Crow, if you are still here, you saw my setup. That was not the most concealed of cameras. It's like my only camera that I currently have for like any of that kind of stuff. But it's not as small, like it's a full DSLR camera. So I didn't get as much footage as I would like because it would make it extremely obvious that I was filming. There was very little subtlety to that camera. But eventually, speaking of that camera, I am also planning to, I would eventually like to upgrade this setup. I've currently got two, sorry, I'm just trying to see, I have a key light, which is kind of blinding me a little bit. Oh, that's actually, I might need to, like, this is already diffused. I might need to, like, add an extra layer of diffusion somehow. I have two Logitech ones. I also have this one. Hi. I originally got that one for like building streams. It's doing that thing again. Apparently, either my camera or OBS does not like me changing settings or changing cameras, because as you can see, my camera just did a weird thing with the with that. That is so annoying. I was sitting on high quality there for for like 90% of my stream before. Now apparently it's decided nope. That is so rude. Okay, this is extremely annoying. I do not care for the fact that it just changed. Oh. That was weird. I didn't like that. I don't know if you guys saw that. It just kind of glitched on me for a second. I'm gonna play. I could play with those. I really shouldn't, but it's playing with things to hopefully get it doing what I want it to do again. I really hate that it changed settings on me just because I changed cameras. It's so annoying. Goddamn white balance. On that note, perhaps, because my computer has decided it wants to turn me into a ghost now, apparently, which is extremely annoying. I might finish up for now. It's been about 3 hours. This is kind of like my average at the moment. My internal battery's running starting to run a little bit low, and I'm a little bit annoyed that my camera just did that weird thing. What happens if I play with some settings? Will it change me back? See, it did what the normal setting for a second, and then it just changed to whatever this setting is. But I might finish up. So I'm gonna go have some lunch. Probably not gonna raid out at the moment, but thank you for those who have been watching for the stream, those who may be lurking in the stream. I appreciate you as well. Those who joined in from Crow's stream earlier, and Crow as well, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. I'm going to go have some lunch. And because it's been a topic of conversation, I may even get a little bit of editing done today, because I'm procrastinating from some other things, and that seems like a good thing to procrastinate with. So I am going to finish up, have some lunch, maybe do some editing, probably procrastinate with some games to avoid having to do some cleaning that I've been meaning to do since yesterday. Hope you're all having a good evening / day, depending on where you are in the stream. Sorry, in the day, in the stream, that makes no sense. But again, thank you all for coming in today. I hope to see many, if not all of you again in coming streams. Getting closer to several of my goals at the moment, which is very exciting. And I will see you all next time, hopefully. Have a great day. Keep it real. I'm going to have some lunch. Yes, and that too. Thank you, Jinx. I will be listening to Amygdala as well. Bye.